How about the relative importance of basic science as China goes forward? When I first came to China, I had the privilege of being invited by Dr. Song Jian, who was
Yeah.
head of Kujakuei Science Technology Commission at that time for many years. And he told me, I remember during the 90s, that uh,
Mm.
we would love to do basic research, but we cannot afford to do so. We have to focus on technologies that help our people, food and shelter and health, very much so. And then, uh, starting maybe 5, 6 years ago, he's been long retired, but still very, very active. He has now been promoting China is well off. We now must do basic research because it's the foundation of not only China's technology, but it's part of our obligation or participation in the world. So I have seen the transformation in how China's thinking about basic research through Dr. Song, and
Yeah.
wanted to get your sense of contemporary from the contemporary leadership how important basic science is.
Yeah, I think now there's a really, I think, a general consensus on basic research is really at the core of China's efforts in promoting S&T innovations. I think partly was that indeed, I think a lot of the sort of in a way applications are really flown from the some basic research many years ago. So I think that now people think at this current stage, if China wants to continue to move forward in the S&T field, in the innovation field, there's a need to build a stronger foundation in basic research in order to really to become at the front runner in applied field. So I think that's sort of one side. The other side is also that China now feels that given its current S&T development capabilities, China should contribute to the global science, to the global knowledge base. So I think that as an S&T enterprise, in terms of really playing China's role, dual role to the world, I think China should also strengthen its effort in basic research.
Let me give you an argument that some of my scientific friends in China are concerned about, and
Yeah.
that is how do we motivate the best young talent in basic research? Because on the one hand, you have this enormous draw
Mm.
from commercialization, and not
Yeah.
just as an entrepreneur, but even the salaries that uh, top
Sure.
engineers and scientists are paid by industry is very, very high, enormously high. And on the other hand, there is still the old bureaucracy in the science establishment led by the seniority system, some of the old
Mm.
structural ways that are maybe part of Chinese tradition or something. And so you have these two kind of pulls in opposite directions. So what about that young, brilliant researcher? What should she do?
Well, I think that he or she should really still try to, stick to their, their ideal, and work hard on the, in basic research. But I think I would argue at the same time there's a need for more fundamental, sort of institutional reforms of the Chinese system. Because I think currently, I think that in terms of people who work in the in the research institutions, in research universities, I think, as you said, salary system, the traditional salary system is the basic salary is very low. So a lot of the sort of more additional sort of payment was based on your commercialization, based on your patent application, the number of publications you have. So that's sort of more kind of short-term, sort of gains. So I think that so it'd be very hard for someone who's going to do sort of basic research that in 2 or 3 years there's probably not going to be any sort of output in the short term. So for those people, they're going to suffer. So I think we need to change the system so that to really allow, so no matter. I mean, if you're a really excellent researcher, you're doing good research, then your base salary and so on would be, more than enough for you to have a comfortable life. So you don't have to worry about your housing, your the payment and so on. Yeah. That's the things that we need to change.